Hello, guys. Good day. This is Anne of Reinforcement Club, your fellow positive reinforcer. Today, we're going to talk about attention trap. Why you're always distracted. Way back before, before this technology, apps, phones, computers, we used to be in the wild. We only have radio, or even before radio, you know, uh, books were even revolutionary before, the printing revolution. So even before printing, way back when we hardly even have clothes, the way. Way back, let's just say 1900s. Yes, we already have clothes that time, but we do have less distraction. I could imagine in the wild before, when we used to be at the level of a tribe, tribe level, we used to hunt our food. Distractions do keep us alive because we need it for survival. That's part of our survival instinct before. Our brain evolves to constantly scan for danger, changes, threats, and opportunities to to help us survive. That was way back when, during the people conquer each other by swords or by what do you call that? Bow and arrow. Before this computer era. I could just say how it feels like to be in a computer era because I'm in this generation. I've already enjoyed the printing revolution, the golden age of this technology, and all I can say is I can only imagine, the life of, way back when when people used to live as a tribe. They live as a community, as a team, as one, with a leader, and they go on in the wild to hunt for food. So there was less distraction that time, but distraction helped people to survive. Now, going to this new world, overwhelming, overstimulating world, phones, apps that which are designed to hijack our brain, to give our attention and time to it. Majority of the time of the day, computer games, platforms, social media that are engineered to take all our attention. We are in the era of information overload that we can just get what we want, get to know what we want, even the price, the thing that we would love to buy at the cheapest price in one click away or one press, just one, a keyword away. And we also have this notification, you know, updates, constant inputs, which keeps our brain reactive and scattered. That we hardly could ever focus on what we are doing because we are on our phone like this. It drives our dopamine wild. You know what dopamine is? Dopamine is a hormone and a neurotransmitter at the same time which plays role in brain's reward system, influencing our motivation, pleasure, and learning. This is the feel-good neurotransmitter to the point that whatever we discover in our phone when the notification rings, when our friend texts us back, when our crush texts us back, when we see notification from Facebook updates, this platforms, even our technology is obviously made to get our attention. And then whenever we're hooked to it, it feels good. It feels good. We're so alive. We crave new information even if it's useless to us. To the point that we cannot focus on the main thing. We're lost. Just like this phone, social media, in some point it looks like a drug. They drug us so that we forget what we're here for. We forget our goals, we forget our mission. Now, going back to our main topic, which is why why you're always distracted. Why are we getting much distracted, getting much distraction this time? It's because, I personally believe that if you don't know your agenda, if you don't have an absolute plan for your day, you're going to be open to all sorts of distraction. If you've no plan, no purpose, no structures, no routine, you are a prospect for for those marketers. Oh, it's easy to get this guy's attention. I'm going to send him a reward, a discount so he can shop in this app. I give him a 20 euro, $20 euro rewards whenever he shops in this platform. I'm going to send it through his email to wake him up and then shop. It's easy to press the button and then explore what's inside the email, from marketers. But if you have a plan, you've no time for that. You're going to think about the main thing. How in the world are you going to get it done? If your lack of purpose, you have unclear goals. The way when you don't have a strong why, your brain easily defaults to short-term dopamine. The feel good neurotransmitter, feel good behavior, feel good activities. The feel good activities, the easiest thing to do, which can give us happiness. Online games, looking up to the updates about our friend, bestie's life, our neighbors' lives. What's the latest about the politics? What the heck is going on about the world? Because we've no plan. I hope I make this clear to you that if you know agenda for your day, it's easier to get distracted. Because if you have an agenda, if you have a plan for your day, your plan every day so that you can achieve this in a week and you can collectively achieve your minor activities to get the major one in a month, and then because you have a yearly target up to 5 years, if you think about long term, you're not going to get easily distracted because you're going to formulate your own routine. So first things first, the hardest thing to do, if you find it hard to drag yourself to exercise, you're going to do that first. And then, when you are in the strongest, like you are already, your brain and body is already activated at a certain time. Like for example, to me, I find it hard to exercise. So I do it first, maybe usually this time 9 or 10 in the morning. And then when I get back, I cook. And then I make contents for my Excel and whatever I wanted to do. Because it's easier, I just have to sit but this is a long-term commitment. I got to do this. I cannot end the day, I couldn't sleep well if I wouldn't do the main thing. And my main thing is just making content, exercise, and somehow learn something new. That's another main thing, making contents, workout, learn something new. And the minors could be cook, wash the dishes, do the household chores, but I got to do the main thing first. It doesn't matter if I do the minors, but the main thing first. I'm not saying that I'm going to be the richest person in the world, but I just do what matters to me. And there's also a lot of things which matters to you. And what I've learned is that you don't need a lot. You can even just do one thing. And then after doing that, okay, get yourself open for distraction, but do the main thing first. Otherwise, when you have no plan for the day, nothing in your head, you'll be opening yourself to different types of distractions that's just going to eat your time in the first place. And another thing that would surely make you get distracted is your environment. Your things are cluttered, surroundings dirty. You need some organization. And another thing is that when you have a goal, when you have your main thing, it's important to block your time. Like for me, I love to do my content in my day off in the afternoon. So between 4 and 8 in the afternoon, the content must be finished. So I must block time for 1 to 2 hours or even 3 hours. And my office, there's less things around here, just my books. So when I go inside my office, I've no bed and I got books here. So it already tells me to do my job. I have nothing else here. And my diary, other stuff. So if you have a poor environment which is not motivating to you, even you live in your brothers and sisters doesn't give a heck about workout, and they don't give a heck about their weight, their figure. So most likely you're gonna be the same. No, I'm talking about if you keep hanging out to these people all the time, majority of the time after work, even your friends. But when you happen to to have a brother or a sister who is conscious about his figure, and then you have friends who love to go to the gym, most likely you're gonna be just one of them. And that also part of the environment that you're living in. And when your environment is scattered, it doesn't actually motivate you to do your thing, like study. Well, you can actually study, but in any environment. But what if you're in an environment, a noisy environment? So how can you study? How can you use that time block that you plan? But if you're strong enough to really make that thing come true, to study for 1 to 2 hours, you might want to go to somewhere else other than your home, which is kind of noisy because your brother is listening to music and your mom is singing karaoke. So you might want to consider going out to Starbucks and study there. So environment is also a big deal in terms of distraction. And we also have this so-called unfiltered inputs. The examples for this are the notifications, updates from social media, text messages, calls. If you are working, if you're studying beside your phone, you might want to consider staying away from your phone. Put your phone in the other room when you're studying, because that's the main thing. You have to get it done. Your goal. So stay away from distractions, those unfiltered info, which is just inside your phone. Just stay away from your phone for 1 to 2 hours. If you're targeting to study for 1 to 2 hours for your exam. And, if you want to lessen the distraction, the stimulations inside your head, you might want to consider putting off the notifications in your phone, except emergency calls from your family, even texts from your loved ones only. Turn off the social medias, even those shopping carts, Amazon. Turn off the notifications and email. Although you might be looking forward for some email messages, so make time for that. That is the use of time block. And I'm only going to be saying 3 things to you right now. Why you are distracted: because you've no structures, you've no plan, no goals, no purpose, what you want to do, no agenda. That's basically the number one. Second is your environment, leading you to poor habits, leading you to distraction. And lastly, I would understand this: mental fatigue, because I'm also working though. People who have tired mind seeks relief through distractions, because distractions are fast relief. What I'm talking about is, let me explain. So I do this mental fatigue. I am open for distraction after work. When I come home from work, I just scroll on social media, reels. I don't have TikTok. mindlessly for half an hour to 1 hour, because I just want to take a break. I don't want to use my mind because I've already used it at work. If I ever use it. So when I get home, I have no responsibilities at this time, no kids yet. So I just want to take a break from thinking. So I am open for distraction, maybe one half to an hour. And then I go back to myself again, go to shower, and do my thing. Whatever I want to scan here from the book, write about what I've learned for the day, say a prayer, and go to sleep. I would understand, mental fatigue. That when you experience this, you just want to get distracted. You just want to play online games for, to reward yourself from your hard work. Because you've done your main thing, you've done your agenda for the day. So this is your reward. But what happens most of the time when you have no goals, you are just solely on those distractions. Nothing ever, no progress at all. So that becomes a problem. Well, I would understand that people, we all have our right to live the way we want to. It's just we're talking about distraction this time and the consequences if you don't have a goal. That's also for your own self fulfillment as well as to your well being. It's not good to be like, just stay with the distraction, like in that space wherein you're just trapped to that distracted mental space. You're not going anywhere. And it makes you feel good for a short term, but long term, at the end of the day, it's just going to be you and your decision that you have to deal with. Now, how can you destroy distraction? As I've shared earlier, if you have no goals, you have unclear goals, no structures, it's easily to get distracted. And your environment isn't favorable for any motivation, then you are a prospect for the marketers, from online gamers, shopping, whatever is your niche. If you're into shopping, it's easy for you to look at your phone. Unless if you're doing something important, you've no time for those phone. You've no time to play online games, unless when you're done doing the main thing. Now, basically, if you want to destroy distraction, just set a goal and do something about it every day, like your life depends on it. Like what? So that by the time you wake up in the morning, you already know what to do. You already know your agenda for the day, your main thing, your one thing, or it could be 2 or 3. You don't need more, because if it can. If you're too focused, it can also lead you to mental fatigue, and then go back to distraction, because it's hard. So you can just time block. Block your time for 1 to 4 hours to do all your main thing. 1 to 2 hours, 1 to 3 hours, 4 hours. It's up to you. Do something about your goal every day. Because in some point, it's going to, collectively, the result will be just collectively gathered in a month, and then in a year, in years and years. And that's how you're going to build something. That's how you're going to improve yourself. And you know what? It's really a good kind of feeling to welcome distractions after you finish doing the main thing, after you've executed something to make your goal, to achieve your goal. And secondly, prioritize your plans. How can you prioritize your plan? Prioritize your plan like, once again, your life depends on it. It's do or die. So you can do time block, minimize meetings. You can just send the important information to your colleagues or teammates via email or text, even long text. You say everything you have to say, or you can even make a video of your instructions and send it to your teammates, to your team, without meeting. Because if you have some meetings Okay. It's the same thing, when people read your message. It's just that when you have a meeting, some people just wouldn't listen. They're there, but they're not there. And they're just there physically, but their minds can be somewhere else. And of course, you might want to consider turning off your notification, except the notifications from your loved ones, from the people who matters to you. And another thing is that design your environment. If you want to work out tomorrow, prepare your things that you have to bring. Make it visible by the time you wake up in the morning to remind yourself. Because there are some main activities, wherein we really find it hard to do because we don't want to do it. It's hard. Our brain will always keep us comfortable. And minimize temptations. If you're into workout and good health, yeah, minimize buying those unhealthy foods and make them available. Chocolates. So just buy a little bit, or wean yourself, not too much. And you can clean your room, your office, which can be favorable for you to do your project, when you could be happy enough to stay in that room since you block your time for 1 or 2 hours in the morning. Clean your room. You can organize it the way you want to. And lastly, you might want to consider using urgency and purpose in a way that you set your mind to do your mission for the day first. Your mission first. Unless it's emergency. Your mission first. Your mission to build something that matters to you in the long run. Then, after you do something for your goal each day, then maybe you might want to take a break. Welcome some distraction. You might want to go for shopping. You might want to treat yourself to sauna, jacuzzi, while on your phone. Well, that's a pretty much rewarding feeling, to be in that situation where you give yourself a reward because you did your main thing. You did your job for yourself, for your goal today. You deserve it. Now, I hope I shared something valuable today. If you ever love this episode, you can follow me in YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, even in X Reinforcement Club. You can share this to your family and friends. By the way, this is Anne, your fellow positive reinforcer. I do appreciate your time and have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.